ring, the challenger, AJ Anthony Joshua.
MMA striking coach, man I've known for over 20 years. And our unofficial scorer, Sean Wheelock, gave the opening round to the returning legend.
Here we go, live.
A close fight, so you don't...
For AJ not having all his own way.
I think both guys actually take down.
Ching 2.
Body by Paul. There's the left hand.
Got it fairly wide, haven't you, Carl? I know Tony Bellew has too. Just seen Anthony Joshua so fast. Left foot comes
To it, his age.
Yeah.
He's been pretty busy. Look at
That's that.
Anthony Joshua. The Joshua.
Matches with the right hand.
Joshua misses with the right hand.
The Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight unfolded like a slow-burning heavyweight drama, the kind where every second feels heavier than the last and nothing comes easy.
Anthony Joshua, as we all know, never been down, amateur or pro. But there's some more.
It's almost a lazy jab. That's what he wanted.
Nose of Silva.
Very loose. To play a part in this.
From the opening bell, Jake came out loose and confident, bouncing on his toes, flicking shots, trying to control rhythm and prove he belonged in that space, while Joshua stood tall and patient, eyes calm, posture disciplined, letting the fight come to him instead of chasing it.
And this jab right there that really knocked Jake back.
there. We see that. Only one big shot, 2 points.
The match with the right hand. So a lot of focus on Joshua's as
We'll find a pretty busy pace.
should hold the crown like that. Traction, the glamorous. Looks in control, but up close as he tries the uppercut.
The early rounds were a chess match wrapped in muscle, Jake circling, feinting, trying to disrupt timing, and Joshua measuring distance, stepping just enough to remind him how small the ring can feel against a seasoned heavyweight. As the fight settled, exchanges grew sharper, clinches became battles of strength, and the pace turned into a mental grind rather than a sprint.
Left hook there. Rough ball out of there. Combination from Silva.
Another jolting right hand sends Joshua down. Anthony Joshua floored and hurt here in the 6th round.
You could feel the crowd tense every time Joshua planted his feet, and you could sense Jake digging deep whenever the pressure crept closer, refusing to panic, refusing to fade. Midway through, the fight shifted into something rawer, less about proving narratives and more about surviving moments, managing fatigue, and making the right choice under stress. Neither man rushed, neither man folded, and every round felt like a test of belief versus experience playing out in real time.
Very loose. To play a part in this.
And this jab right there that really knocked Jake back.
There we see that. Only one big shot, 2 points.
The match with the right hand. So a lot of focus on Joshua's as
We'll find a pretty busy pace.
should hold the crown like that. Traction, the glamorous. Looks in control, but up.
By the later stages, sweat, breath, and willpower told their own story, with both fighters having to rely on composure as much as power. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't reckless, it was controlled intensity, ambition colliding with heavyweight reality, leaving the arena buzzing, not because of a single moment, but because the fight itself asked a question that only the ring can ask and made everyone stay to hear the answer.
When you're in that ring, it's a dangerous place to be and anything can happen. And you hope your opponent leaves the ring safely, but if they don't, you know, you still have to go to bed at night knowing that you just done your job. It wasn't personal.
I mean, yeah, look, I mean, it is a big task, but I mean, if this fight were 14 months ago or whatever, however many months ago you had the belt, then when I win, it would have been me becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. So
you would have beat me for the belt.
And you claim you're better than Tyson, all these people, so I mean, we'll see.
Before the first punch was ever thrown, the contrast showed up right on the scale, quietly setting the tone for everything that followed. Anthony Joshua stepped onto the weigh-in platform at a solid 243.4 pounds, looking carved, balanced, and purposeful, not bulky for show, but built like a heavyweight who understands exactly what his body needs for 12 hard rounds.
243.4. 243.4. 243.4 for Mr. Anthony Joshua. 243.4. I'm gonna need all media to scoot back this way, guys. All media, scoot back. Security, help me out.
There was no excess, no theatrics, just that familiar presence of a man comfortable carrying size, strength, and expectation all at once. At that weight, Joshua looked like he'd optimized himself for control and durability. Heavy enough to impose physical authority, yet composed enough to move with patience instead of rushing moments. It felt less like a flex and more like a statement that he'd arrived prepared for real work, not spectacle, knowing that at heavyweight, structure and stability matter as much as power. Jake Paul followed at 216 pounds, noticeably lighter, leaner, and sharp, carrying himself with the confidence of someone who trusted his conditioning and speed over sheer mass. The weight reflected his approach, mobility, rhythm, and endurance rather than brute force, suggesting a game plan built around movement, timing, and belief in his gas tank.
216.6.
Absolutely, Giles! You listen to me, brother! When the ring bells, I'm coming in there and I'm coming on his ass! You know who I are him! Let's go!
At 216, Jake looked athletic and ready, not overwhelmed by the size gap, but aware of it, choosing efficiency over bulk and precision over presence. That difference on the scale didn't feel like a weakness, it felt like a gamble, one rooted in the idea that preparation, speed, and confidence could bridge the gap against a much heavier man. Together, those numbers told their own story before the bell ever rang. Two bodies, two philosophies, sharing the same ring with very different ideas of how the night would unfold. And right after those numbers on the scale told us this was a grown man equation, AJ grabbed the mic and basically told everyone to stop confusing kindness with mercy. I'm listening to Joshua here and thinking, yeah, this isn't arrogance, this is experience talking back. He's not calling Jake delusional, he's calling him dangerous in the only way that matters: belief. AJ's whole point is simple. Underestimate a man who believes in himself and you've already handed him a lottery ticket. And when AJ says, you're getting the full AJ, that's not trash talk. That's a warning wrapped in professionalism.
Do you just think this guy's deluded?
Nah. Look, an amateur coming into the game with no experience, he's taking on some good names. They may be old, they may be from different combats in terms of MMA and so on, but he's got in the ring at a decent level, fought Tommy Fury and so on, so he believes in himself. I take it seriously, I respect it.
Yeah, but their levels, come on AJ.
No carrying, no charity rounds, no influencer detours, just a methodical heavyweight doing what heavyweights do. I love how he explains it too, like a craftsman, not a bully. Knockouts aren't accidents, they're processes. You don't rush them, you build them. And when he talks about integrity, that's the line Jake fans might miss. AJ's not here to play villain or hero. He's here to do his job properly because this sport doesn't respect shortcuts.
The fact that you've been Olympic champion, two-time world champion, are you going to have to carry him to make it a spectacle? Or is he going to get the full AJ?
The full. I've never gone in there and knocked someone out within 10 seconds. There's a methodical process to knocking someone out. But if the opportunity presents itself, I'm not planning on carrying Jake for 1 second more than I have to.
And yeah, he leans into the knockout talk with a grin because let's be honest, you, me, and everyone watching knows why boxing lights up when fists start flying. This wasn't AJ hyping violence, this was AJ saying, don't ask me to water it down. At 243 pounds, with power in both hands and zero interest in babysitting, he sounds like a man who knows exactly who he is, exactly what's expected, and exactly how thin the line is between spectacle and seriousness. And trust me, when a heavyweight starts talking this this calmly, this clearly, this unapologetically, that's when you stop laughing and start paying attention.
People are saying, AJ, they want you to win by knockout. What do you make of that? People here in the States as well.
I love him. That's what we got to do. That's what we're supposed to do. From the days of watching Mike, whether it's Foreman, Shavers, why do people love boxing? They don't love it from fighters that box 12 rounds and look great technically. They want to see people getting knocked out. It's just the game I'm in. People got to understand it. And I know people know where I'm coming from. They are like, oh my God, he's so crazy. No, they want to see knockouts. I respect it. I love it.
And right after AJ laid it down with that calm, heavyweight authority, Jake Paul steps up sounding like a man who already shook hands with destiny in his own head. I'm listening to Jake here and thinking, yeah, this is peak Jake Paul energy. Half manifesting monk, half main character syndrome, fully convinced the universe RSVP'd to his storyline. He's not rattled, he's not rushing, he's talking like this whole thing was penciled into his vision board years ago. And look, whether you believe in it or not, confidence like that is dangerous because it doesn't crack easily. When Jake says people don't see what he sees, I actually believe him. Not because he's right, but because belief like that makes you walk into a storm smiling. The Starbucks barista line, pure Jake, corny, calculated, and somehow still memorable.
And to be brutally honest, not many of them are rooting for you. Some have said to me, he's deluded. What would you say to them?
I know you got him picked. Like, that's what it is, you know. Of course, people don't believe in me. They don't see what I can do. They're not in the gym with me. So I don't blame them for having that opinion and thinking that this is a crazy fight for me. But I see something completely different that no one else sees, and they're going to get to see it in roughly 24 hours.
That's him trying to flip tension into comfort, turn a 6'6" heavyweight into just another character in his movie. And when he talks about nerves, meditation, breath work, letting energy go, that's not fear, that's preparation wrapped in influencer language. You might laugh at it, but you can't ignore it. I love how he casually brushes off the scripted fight talk too, like, relax, this is real life, not Netflix drama, while simultaneously acting like the world's about to reboot around him. And here's the thing you and I have to admit, Jake isn't pretending this is easy. He's calling it the hardest thing he's ever done. And that honesty actually makes the confidence louder. He's not reckless, he's committed. Whether that belief survives contact is a different conversation. But walking into a moment like this with jokes, calm breathing, and zero visible intimidation, that tells me one thing. Jake Paul might be in over his head, but he's walking in upright, smiling, and fully convinced this chapter ends exactly how he imagined it. And in boxing, belief doesn't win fights, but it does make them uncomfortable.
What would it mean if you pulled this off?
Yeah, when I win tomorrow, I mean, it's going to be an incredible moment, but at the same time, I know that it's coming. So I'll be very happy, and it'll shock the world. People will, the world will be turned upside down. But at the same time, it'll just be proving myself right. And I will be the, face of boxing, the king of boxing, and just continue from there into more big fights.
At the end of the night, this felt less like a simple fight and more like a stress test for boxing itself, where experience, belief, preparation, and pressure all got thrown into the same ring to see what cracked first. One side brought years of discipline and calm control, the other showed up powered by confidence, vision, and the refusal to feel out of place, and that clash alone made every moment matter. It wasn't about flash or viral moments, it was about how each man handled the weight of expectation when the noise faded and the work started. Now, I want you in this conversation because fights like this don't end when the bell stops. Did experience set the tone, or did belief stretch the limits further than you expected? Drop your take in the comments, argue it out respectfully, and if you're rocking with Boxing Headquarters, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.